Memphis is the home of the blues, rock and roll, and Earle Farrell.
From the Collierville Square to the mighty Mississippi, the Earle Farrell for Memphis show is all about good things that happen across the Bluff City and the people who make Memphis cool.
The Earle Farrell for Memphis show is made possible by our title sponsor, Southern Security Federal Credit Union, and by Kathy Thurman Edwards, State Farm Insurance.
By Dive Shop and Dive Ventures nationwide. Jim Karras Chevrolet with George Gully. Napa Cafe Memphis and Glenda Hastings. For Memphis Magazine. The Live at the Garden Concert Series. And the Orpheum Theater Group Memphis. And by Mitch Wright Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, family owned and operated for more than 40 years. Thank you to all the sponsors for making this possible.
And now, coming to you from Lansky Brothers, Clothier to the King, inside the world-famous Peabody Hotel, with the heart of a cowboy and Memphis in his soul. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Earle Farrell.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Lansky's. We got a big show lined up for you today. We're talking about some entertainment here in Memphis and history of entertainment and what's going on with the future of entertainment. And then we have my good friend from the Shelby County Fire Department coming in and talking about cooking safety during Thanksgiving and, of course, the rest of the holidays, too, with the tree and fire. So that all is coming your way. Right now, I want to introduce you to Mike Glenn, who's been a promoter here in Memphis, a nightclub owner, been involved in everything from boxing to jazz to everything that goes along with entertainment in Memphis. Has one time owned the New Daisy Theater. And also Evan Singh, who's working with Mike now. Welcome both of you to the show.
Thank you for having us.
We were talking before the show that we've known each other a long time, back when you were promoting fights, and we'd come down and do things when I was at Channel 3 at the New Daisy. And but you are from Memphis and have been involved in a lot over the years.
Way too much.
That's called experience, and you have experience doing all of it. Now you have a place called Growlers, which is right across from Overton Park. It used to be the High Tone.
It's High Tone and Congrace.
Congrace, who was the Elvis's taekwondo instructor, and heck of a guy. And then, Evan, you're working with Mike on his project. Would you tell people what else you've been doing in your career?
It's a bit of a Forrest Gump life, but military. I've been involved with Live at the Garden, Memphis in May, as a runner, production in those areas too. And then Mike asked me to come along with Growlers and see what we could do with that.
And Growlers is a lot like a lot of clubs that were on Beale Street in the past. Because we were talking this the other day. Where do young people go now? Because they had all these hula hands, alans, they were discos, but at the same time you had places on Beale that people went to hear music. But where do obviously they're coming to Growlers. So
you have so many places in the city of Memphis that do good live music. You got Minglewood, 1884. It's a place down off of G.E. Patterson. What's the name of that place down there?
Haven House.
Haven House. And Hernando's Hideaway.
Yeah, that's recent. We've had them on the show.
You would be amazed to what my son has put out there in years past. I mean, we've done some pretty great shows out there. Everybody from Patterson Hood to Lucero's album release party. So, and my son would put stuff out there never even heard of. But once you get there, it's always good stuff, and Celine and Dale do such a wonderful job.
They are. We've been to them, and we've had both of them on the show, and they love Memphis. He's originally from Texas. I'm not sure where she's originally from, but she loves Memphis now, and so does he.
Well, they do a great job out there, and I tell you what, they went in there and they redid that whole place.
Yep.
The sound in there is incredible, and the food in there is pretty good too, and got a good cook there, and service is there. I can't say anything bad about the place. Love the place.
I do too, and they're good people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You will have a good time when you go there.
Yep.
What was your idea with the Growlers for the beginning? And a growler, if I'm not incorrect, is what they call a beer stein in England. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so what made you think of Growlers?
Well, it really wasn't my idea. How my connection got with Growlers was 2018, 17, somewhere in that era. My son was out of the Daisy and was doing stuff over at the other High Tone. And Tony, the guy that owns the place, was struggling, trying to figure something out, and he reached out to him, and then he reached out to me and wanted me to put my thumbprint on it. And I said, as long as you take care of the kid knows what he's doing. And he completely turned that place around and made it the hottest 500-seat room in a tri-state area.
And bringing in people from all over all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's done some pretty incredible stuff in there.
Recently Newbies announced they were closed. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody that knows the woman that owns it, and said she just got tired of the hassle because there's a lot to dealing with bands that come from everywhere. Some you know, some you don't know. But you always got to be there to take care of and stomp out the problems as they come up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she was pretty much running the whole thing herself, and I think she said, I'm done. Because it's a complex business.
When Dr. Franklin left, Bill Street left me down there, I was there sometimes from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, you take it from the cradle to the grave. You book the bands, you book the sound, you book the lights, you take care of hospitality, you order the liquor and stuff at the bar, book the bartenders. So it's, you do that for a few years, and to me, it just became a day-to-day thing.
Well, it's like anything else. Once you get used to it, it has a rhythm of its own, and you get into that, and then you hire people like Evan who comes along and says, I want to learn what you're doing and help. And it's not, but you seem like to me in all businesses, radio, television, the bar, restaurant business, entertainment, that there are always young people hanging around wanting to learn about it. I don't see that happening now very much, where, you try to hire people, and they may show up, and they may not after you hire them. But there's not like people saying, I just want to learn this, and I'll just hang around, and you tell me what to do, and I'll do it, which is kind of how you came into it, Evan.
You stay broke for a while because...
everybody's broke when they're young,
sure.
I promise you.
But, yeah, I believe we have an effort to preserve what Memphis music is here.
Because it is a great history of the music, and we've had so many people on the show. Jerry Phillips, from Sam Phillips Studio, and I met Sam right after I first moved to Memphis. Went to Sam Phillips Studio, and some people I worked with there. I said, let's go meet him. And will he do an interview with us? And Sam, if you knew Sam, he would always be ready for an interview, and he was great. What I loved about him, because I knew him for many years before he passed, is that he told that story of how he came to Memphis as enthusiastically for the 10,000th time as he did the first time. He always sounded like a Baptist preacher. I come to Memphis from Alabama.
That's Sam.
And he was, and it was all true.
Yeah.
And he was even smart enough to say, I'm not big enough to handle Elvis. And that's when he said, you need to do a deal with somebody else. And that's when the Colonel, in fact, they signed the agreement with the Colonel here at the lobby of the Peabody Hotel. They've got a copy of the agreement in their history room up here. So there's just so many things about the history of Memphis and the entertainment. And did you feel that when you first came to the New Daisy and started putting on boxing matches there and other entertainment?
Oh, Bill Street has just a feel of its own. I mean, when I first came there was nobody on Bill Street. Preston Lamb at Rum Boogie, King's Palace, and John Elkington, God bless him, he was good to all of us. John put me in a position down there after Doc left, and then kept throwing me with partners. I'm like, John, it's just not going to work out. So I remember December 91, after I did New Year's Eve, I'm packing my bags. I'm leaving. And he heard about it, because running down there, he goes, be in my office after New Year's. I'll give you a long-term lease. And he did.
Wow.
And he took good care of me, because, I mean, look, I had other places I could go, but I loved Bill Street.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I saw Bill Street, I was 5 years old. I used to shine shoes in my pop's barber shop down at the Falls Building, and when he had a barber shop down in Whiskey Chute. And in summer times, I'd come down and hang out with the guys. Thought it was somebody. They sent me down to Goldsmith's, and I said, don't go to Bill Street. Well, you tell a 5-year-old kid that he got.
That's where he's going.
And I knew the concept of a tip jar, and there was a couple of guys sitting under a tree, and I threw a couple of quarters in there, popped up like Chuck E. Cheese. It was a jug band. Never seen a jug band before. Thought that was the coolest thing I ever seen.
I had some friends come from Texas, and they both loved the blues. And Gary actually has a blues band that plays in the Fort Worth area. And they came here because he said, we want to play with a real blues band out on the street, on Beale Street. He said, what do we do? I said, go to the liquor store, buy a fifth of Jack Daniels, and you'll be in the band. And give them the Jack. And they did. He said, we played down there 4 nights in a row, and they love us down there. I said, yeah, because you buy good whiskey.
That is true.
But that's the way it was always done on Beale Street. If you wanted to go play the blues and be in a band one night, you just get in there and jam with them.
Well, for many years, there were bands that were just as good on the outside as we were on the inside.
Yeah.
I had a young man named Richard Johnston, learned from Arlo Burnside down in North Mississippi. And he was playing somewhere else, and, of course, Richard sometimes doesn't get along with people. And I threw an extension cord out and said, play out in front of my place. I don't care. And I probably had 300 or 400 people out there Friday and Saturday night, and I put a bar out there the next week. And he was with me for 12 years.
Wow. And always played outside.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he'd make $2,000 or $3,000 out there. All right, he used to bring his bucket up. You want a piece of this? I said, if I can't make it in the bar out there, I don't need to be out there.
Yeah. The whole flavor of Beale Street, though, is always been that. It's kind of the cutting edge of street people.
Yeah.
And you had the indoor places, but there's always been people hanging out on the street, and everything you can imagine went on then, it's gone on now, and will go on in the future. I do think that have you noticed with the Guard coming here, did you see the city calmer now since that, or not?
I don't know about all that. I'm still it's a question mark to me.
Well,
Beale Street has had its trials and tribulations this year, but you know what? It's been a while since they've had trials and tribulations. They're doing fine. They're trying to do fine down there. But I've talked to a few of the club owners, and to some of them, they feel like it's a detriment. People feel like that they got these folks down here. Is it safe down there? Well, it's safe to come to Beale Street. I can tell you that.
We drive by there every time we do the show. We leave and take Rob and Beth home to their place on the river. And so we drive right by there, and we go to the Orpheum. We come down for dinner, which is one reason we moved the show down here. We wanted people to know it is safe to come back down here. You come here, it's like any place else. You got to watch yourself. I mean, there are things going on around you all the time in parking lots in Germantown and Collierville.
Look, the Oak Court Mall wouldn't let my mother go over there. I said, Ma, you and your girls, y'all want to go to Oak Court? Y'all ride with me.
I'll get you there.
Many years.
And I'll get you out of there.
Yeah.
But it's I wanted people to come down here and come on the show and see that everything's okay. And it's working. And with Growlers, and when you came in there, your son, is he also working with you on booking the bands in there?
No, he's now at Minglewood in 1884.
Sure, which is another great success.
Yeah.
We got a lot of events there.
He moved down there in last of April.
So who does the booking of the bands? Do you do that now?
I do. Evan does. We got another young man named Bryson, another kid named Max. Then we get people who will come in and rent the building out and do their own show.
Wow. Because that was what I noticed about in between when I had Sleepouts and Garcia Wells. A lot changed. And bands come, bands go. Promoters come and go. But the basic business is there. It's just figuring out who is a draw and who's not a draw, and who you'll have back and who you won't have back.
And that's really tough this day and time because people are not getting out to shows like they used to. It's financial, it's concern. People just they don't have that cash that they once had, and it's been a struggle since the pandemic.
Yeah, it has. I think back to what it was like when I was hanging out at Bombay Bicycle Club and Fridays, and you could go spend $20 at night and go home and still have some money. And now $20 gets you 2 drinks in a place, and so it's like you wonder how young people do go. I think a lot of them just go out in groups and everybody pays their own tab.
Yeah.
It's not a deal where the guys always pay for the girls. And so that makes it affordable for everybody. But just the whole way people go out and do things is different now. Evan, would you say that?
Oh, sure. Cashless. A lot of people don't carry much cash anymore. So that's the thing about Growlers. We're a cash institution all day. We hit a different market, from metal to emo night to live band karaoke to country.
Yeah.
So we're going to touch everything.
And your crowd, just early 20s to mid 30s?
Our crowd is 12 years old.
Friday night, we had people in there my age.
Really?
Yeah.
To see an REM cover band.
Wow. Well, in fact, you were telling me about that last week.
Fantastic cover band out of Rochester, New York.
Which you're seeing more and more cover bands. And we were at the last concert at Live at the Garden, and that band played a couple of cover songs. I think people enjoy music they like, and they really don't care who's playing it.
Yeah.
And if you have a band that's good and play the songs that it was a favorite of yours, you're happy. I'm happy.
Absolutely.
And I think more people, in fact, we went to see Jersey Boys at the Orpheum a couple of years ago, and I had forgotten how many great songs they put out. And I was telling Brett Batterson, I said, who's this music? Because they were playing it the night they were announcing the show coming to the media. And I said, every one of these songs are great. He goes, yeah, it's Jersey Boys. That's what this show's about. And I came to see the show. I said, I would come to see them play that music, even if there wasn't a story behind it. Just play the music. And that's what a lot of people are doing.
My son took me down to the Orpheum to see Frankie Valli, who that thing was all about.
Yeah.
He was 89 years old.
Wow.
And, sure, he don't sound like he did when he was 20, but I'm sitting there watching Frankie Valli.
Yeah.
That was large for me.
Well, and I think that's part of the music scene is giving people what they want. I learned that a long time ago. Ask your customers, what do you want, and then deliver it to them.
Yeah.
Don't try to dictate what they should like. Listen to your customers and give them what you want. Where do you see entertainment business in Memphis going? There's always places that are going to open and close. There will be people who are successful, other people are struggling, but that's always been the business, correct?
It's a little worse now than it has been. The last 12 months, you've seen a lot of places close down.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad. Some real solid places, restaurants. You just either you stick it out or you walk. And I've been sticking around since the late 70s with boxing up to now. I hadn't done a boxing show in 10 years because this good state of Tennessee overregulated boxing to make way for the MMA. So I got out of that, but I've stayed in the music business.
Do you think boxing will come back?
And probably Mississippi and Arkansas. I don't know about Tennessee because they overregulated. I was there for the Lewis Tyson fight.
Yeah.
I got Mike Tyson his boxing license. I was there for the second one when he fought Clifford Etienne. I was at all the fights at FedEx Forum. Brian Young was leading charge on that, and we were having title fights at the FedEx Forum with Showtime, with ESPN. We even had 2 ESPN fights at the New Daisy. And then all of a sudden we outlawed the Tough Man contest, so they had to re-regulate things so the MMA could come back through, and which is, made financial sense, but it killed boxing because you can't do a club show.
Yeah. What about Southland? Because that's just doing gangbusters over there, and they can do gambling, do everything over there.
They don't do as much live music. I would think that they would. They got a perfect scenario over there. I've been over for a couple of MMA fights that Attitude MMA would do over there, and they do a great job. I walked through the casino. I'm not much of a casino guy, but it's a nice place.
Yeah, they've really done a great job.
Nice property.
And the casinos in Tunica, we had another one closed the other day that's been open since they first got there. I think their problem was when they had the flood and then COVID, and this was just, Southland was so much closer to Memphis, and people just said, well, we can go here in 10 minutes or drive on 45 and go down to Tunica. But it's still always the people that have imagination, the people that are business people that know their business. are going to find a way to make things happen. That's what you've done your entire career.
Well, it was hit and miss. I'll say that. I've done. I was the P.T. Barnum on Bill Street. I mean, I did everybody from Keith Richards to Insane Clown Posse and Gore, and I could go on and on. Dave Brubeck. I remember watching him in my balcony, and I was just thrilled. I got Dave Brubeck playing on my stage, in my room. Yeah. That was pretty incredible.
How is it being on Poplar Avenue in Midtown versus being on Beale Street? I mean, in some ways, I mean, there's a lot more parking, free parking where you are, and people will go to the square and to
they will.
The Midtown area.
But there's always going to be a Beale Street.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, there better be a Beale Street. I mean, I to my dying day, there better be a Beale Street there because I was there when nobody else was, and it was me and Preston Lamb and then Silky came down, and of course my dear friend Bud Chittum was there for many years.
God bless him.
And John Elkington put all these crazy pieces together.
Yeah.
And it was almost on the front end. It was like he was doing some. If it sticks, it stays. And he was very good to me, very good to Preston, Bud, Silky, Tommy Peters down at BB King's.
Sure.
I mean, you know, we all had a nice little run down there.
Yeah, well, and it's still running.
Yeah.
It's evolving, and everything is evolving.
Or the music business is evolving. I was there when we went, practically overnight when the Bullet Boys were playing on the Sunday and I had Nirvana playing on the Monday. I saw the whole music world change.
Yeah.
Wasn't particularly happy with that, but, and we really have had a major change in the music business since the grunge.
Yeah.
I mean, there really hasn't been a change. The rap metal came out, and that did well for many years, and still going strong. You've got this red dirt country that does really well at certain places. I mean, there's so many variations of country; it's crazy.
Well, and look at the country night on Beale Street. Nobody thought that would ever happen, and that's been going on for years. And I guess they're still doing. Country.
Oh yeah, they're still doing it. Yeah.
So it's. I think people are going to go wherever the music is they want to hear, and they're going to go there. And so I know South Haven is doing a lot of big concerts down there.
Huge.
And we saw a number of really big people. Willie Nelson, Kenny Chesney. I mean, they've done a really good job of marketing that and bringing in some good people. So.
Oh, yeah. Last time I was down there was last year. I went down to see Jelly Roll.
Yeah. Who's on a roll.
He's a friend of mine, been a friend of mine since, 20 years ago when nobody knew who he was. Yeah. And I'm sure I could tell his story. He can yell at me next time he sees me. He used to live in my parking lot in a van.
Really?
And he had back door keys so he could, and I mean, he was struggling.
Sure, like so many young performers.
And I knew that. And he played for me we had a little Monday night rap thing going on, and he was there every Monday night. And you could see the talent in him at that time. And I'm so proud of what he's done with his life.
Yeah,
it's just absolutely incredible. I mean, that's a true success story.
Well, your success story, and I'm glad you came in and shared some with us. And we'll do this again, and maybe bring somebody else that has shared some of your times with you, and keep people updated on what's going on in the entertainment scene.
Well, thank you very much for having us.
Absolutely. Mike Glenn and Evan Singh, thank you both for coming in, and keep up the good work.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
All right, fire safety tips for cooking a frozen turkey. Don't do it, and we'll show you why coming up right after this.
Hi, I'm Dawn Grader, President and CEO of Southern Security Federal Credit Union. We're the proud title sponsor of the Earle Farrell for Memphis show. Coming to you live from Lansky's in the world-famous Peabody Hotel and celebrating all of the great things about our great city, Memphis, Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I'm so proud to be part of the Earle Farrell for Memphis show, streaming live from Lansky's from the Peabody. We will be showcasing not only Napa Cafe, but some great restaurants around town. We look forward to seeing you.
Hello, Memphis Mid-South. And first, I'd like to thank you for visiting with Earle Farrell Memphis today, and we want to support him just like you do. I'm George Gully, one of the sales managers at Jim Karras Chevrolet. We've been in business here in Memphis for over 75 years. I've been associated with the company for almost 25, and I'll help you find the right car, truck, or SUV here at not only our Chevy store, but also Buick, GMC, Nissan, Subaru. We can help you find that right car. Keep watching, Earl, and come see me. Thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Kathy Thurman, Edwards State Farm, and I'm so excited to be one of the sponsors for the Earle Farrell from Memphis show, broadcasting live from Lansky's at the Peabody. And I'll tell you all about what we've got going on at our office. Gift cards for quotes. No purchase necessary. I'm better looking than a lizard.
Hi, this is Randy Wright from the Dive Shop and Dive Ventures in Memphis. We've been in Memphis over 64 years teaching people to dive, snorkel, and swim. We'd love to have you come join us and have some fun. We're also a part of the Dive Ventures group with 18 locations across the country, stretched from Phoenix to Vienna, Virginia. Please give us a call. We'll be able to take care of you at 999 South Yates in Memphis, or call us at 901-763-DIVE.
Hi, I'm Brett Batterson, President and CEO of the Orpheum Theater Group in downtown Memphis. We are so pleased with our partnership with the Earle Farrell Show and very happy that he is broadcasting live from Lansky's at the historic Peabody Hotel. We're all here to make Memphis better.
Hi, I'm Mitch Wright. And I'm his son, Mickey. And we're the owners of Mitch Wright Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And proud sponsors of the Earle Farrell from Memphis show.
We're thankful to be part of the Memphis community. We've been in business for 42 years, taking care of people and loving the people of the Mid-South.
And welcome back to Lansky's. My next guest is somebody I've known for many years. In fact, most of the people I know now I've known for many years. Brent Perkins, who's the PIO, Public Information Officer of the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. And thanks for coming downtown and helping us kind of explain to people what not to do this coming Thanksgiving Day and Christmas, which is followed quickly. In fact, a lot of people, even the Peabody, their tree is up here in the building.
Indeed. Yeah, Shelby County Fire. And been there for... I left Channel 3 in 01. I've been there coming up on 23 years next year. Yeah, so.
Well, you were there when I was the PIO at the Sheriff's Office.
That's right.
And I never thought that would happen. Both of us were spokespeople for the different branches that we were involved with.
Made a few scenes together.
Yeah, we have. But you've always done a great job and always made yourself available to the media for anytime I needed something. And we've spoken about this next subject many times. In the summer, 4th of July, it was fireworks.
That's right.
And then as we get into Thanksgiving, what really changed, not that there weren't fires with people roasting turkeys in the oven, things really changed when people started dropping turkeys into boiling oil.
They taste great.
They do.
They really do, and it's pretty popular
all over the country.
I'll throw some numbers at you that you might find interesting. Our fire department kind of surrounds the city of Memphis, and we're more rural and a metro fire department than we are a city fire department. But we dispatch, believe it or not, 20,000 911 calls a year.
Wow!
For this particular department, and so we're hitting it pretty hard. 50 to 60 times a day, somebody's picking the phone up in our jurisdiction and dialing 911. Out of those 20,000 calls, we're gonna actually visit a little more than 100 working structure fires each year, so about one every 3 days, and this is the time of the year, as you correctly said, that we start ramping up on these outdoor cooking fires. And a lot of them are due to these turkeys. Very dangerous.
We've got some video. We want to show the turkey fire first, then we'll get to the tree safety and Christmas and lights safety. But here's an example of a fire in a boiling bucket of oil.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Jason Fair, Albuquerque Fire Rescue. From all of us here at Albuquerque Fire, I'd like to wish you a safe and happy Thanksgiving. And today we'll give you a couple tips on how to do that. Thanksgiving is the peak day for home cooking fires, with more than 3 times the daily average for such incidents. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day rank second and third, with both having twice the daily average. Unattended cooking is the leading cause of cooking fires and fire deaths. If you are deep frying a turkey, make sure the turkey is thawed, that it's dry, and monitor the oil for temperature and volume. Place the turkey carefully into the oil. Always deep fry outdoors and 10 feet away from anything that's combustible. If you experience a stovetop fire, turn off the heat, place a lid on the pan, and always have a fire extinguisher nearby. For oven fires, turn off the oven, keep the oven door closed, and call 911. From all of us here at Albuquerque Fire Rescue, we hope that all of you have a safe and happy Thanksgiving holiday.
Wow.
If you're standing under that plume, I guarantee you that's hot.
And when you told me the other day that you have so many people that do it outside, but they do it on their deck, a wooden deck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens then is all that oil that's on fire goes through the cracks of the deck and goes underneath it, and then that ignites the entire deck.
Absolutely.
And if you have an overhead, a wooden pergola thing, that's going to catch that on fire. It's connected to your house, so you could burn the entire house down.
Well, you know, I think one of our biggest enemies is complacency. A lot of people live in the "it won't happen to me" world.
Yeah.
And so they don't plan it out very well. There's a lot of debris, leaves and things also under a deck. Anytime you get that heat source next to a combustible, you're going to have an event. One of the things that we teach our recruits is that once a fire's been burning for 7 minutes, every minute after that it's going to double in size.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of speed.
Well, and I don't think most people understand that with an oil fire like that, water only exasperates it.
Makes it worse.
You put a hose on that, and it just spreads it.
Yeah, that PIO had a lot of good things in that video, and I agreed with every one of them, especially getting the 911 system engaged. Take care of that power source, take care of the immediate need, but one of the top things that you have to do is get that 911 system going so that you can call us and engage our engines and get them going.
The other thing, too, is there are different kinds of fire extinguishers out there. And there is one that I had in my restaurant, and it took the oxygen out of the air.
Mm-hmm.
And it works amazingly well, because you take the oxygen away, that's what spreads it.
Yeah, as long as that fire has heat, fuel, air, and chemical reaction, it's going to burn. You kick one of those legs out, and that fire goes out.
Yeah.
I like an ABC fire extinguisher for home for anything that's ash, anything that's boiling, anything that's conductive. So that's a good extinguisher to get.
I'm seeing this blanket selling in a lot of places. It's like if you have a stovetop fire or some kind of a skillet on fire, you take this blanket and put it over it. Is that effective?
I bought 3 of them.
Did you?
I did, yeah. I just mounted one in my kitchen a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Well, good to hear, because it looked like it works to me, and they're big enough you can cover up an entire kettle of on fire. You put that on there, but in the meantime, you have somebody calling 911.
That's right. And a lot of people will do this and think that regular home extinguisher is going to be enough. Did you see the size of that plume come out of there? It's what we call like a BLEVE, a boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. And your typical home extinguisher probably isn't going to be enough to handle that.
Well, it's almost like those battery fires for the electric cars. I mean, you're not putting that out. In fact, I saw something the other day where it looks like a big dumpster that they drive the car into, and while it's on fire, or I don't know how they get it in there.
It comes in pieces, and they assemble it around it, and then they fill it with water.
Wow.
Yeah,
but said even then, they said it keeps burning underwater.
It's astounding. Those chemical reaction fires and batteries are very difficult to handle.
We've got another video. This is right after Thanksgiving. In fact, as we pointed out here at the Peabody, they've already got their tree up, and it's not Thanksgiving until later in the week.
Yep.
A lot of people have decorations up, and a lot of people are putting up a tree right now. And we looked it up before the show today. There's something like 70% of the trees up in America now are artificial trees. And one reason for that is they're safer as far as catching on fire than a live tree, because live trees dry out so quickly. And in this video, I think it talks about cutting off 2 inches at the bottom of the trunk of the tree so it can draw water up. And you have to water that thing every single day, or it's just a huge firebomb. So let's look at the video, then we'll talk about it when we come back.
It's December. It's that time of year. Lots of people are starting to decorate for Christmas. Some may have already started before Thanksgiving, to each their own. But let's talk about some Christmas tree safety. If you get a live tree this year, we have a few tips for you. Make sure you cut about 2 inches off the base of the tree before you put it in your tree stand. That way it's got a good clean cut. It can really really wick up that water every single day. That's right. You have to water your live Christmas tree every single day. You want to make sure that it's at least 3 feet away from any heat source. No candles, no fireplace. Makes great pictures on postcards, but it's not great for fire safety. Also, don't light your tree with traditional candles like on Disney's Christmas Carol. We want to use UL listed, safety checked indoor Christmas lights. And don't ever leave your Christmas tree on when you're sleeping or when you leave the house. All of the safety tips are to make sure that everyone has a safe and happy holidays. If you don't water your tree every day, then it can dry out, and that can cause a very dangerous fire hazard. A simple short in your Christmas lights, any spark, or a candle placed errantly too close to the Christmas tree can cause a very intense fire in a very short period of time. We want everyone to have a safe and happy holidays, have a Merry Christmas with the trees and the decorations and the lights. If you get a live tree, please follow these safety tips. Cut the base, water every day, and don't use candles or be anywhere near any heat or fire source. Enjoy the holidays, be safe, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.
And those are also some very good tips. What is your advice when it comes to a live or artificial tree?
I like the artificial trees myself. We had live trees my whole life growing up.
Sure.
But both of these PIOs were right on with what they were saying. Yeah, look at a live Christmas tree almost like a pump, because it is a live item, and it's got to bring water out to those branches and the needles. The needles have a lot of oil in them, that pine oil and the sap in the tree and whatnot, all of that.
It's a torch.
Absolutely. It's a perfect torch.
Yeah.
But in a room like that, generally they're in a corner, sometimes way too close to a fireplace. One of the rules that I like, and this applies to space heaters too, 3 feet from everything.
Yeah.
My kids always got on me because, Dad, why are you putting the space heater in the middle of the room? We need to get the couch warm, or we need to get the bed warmer. No, it needs to be in the center of the room. And at night when you go to bed, turn it off. Don't let it keep running. Turn it off.
That's what blankets are for.
Yep. And those trees, the live trees, are wonderful if you're going to take care of them. If you're going to actually commit to watering it every day, and then don't let it sit there till February.
No.
Get
it out of there.
Yep, that's right. Get it out.
I just think I feel much safer with an artificial tree, but also with that, using extension cords is also a heat source, because extension cords get hot.
They really do.
And we've all seen what happens to lighting strips that are overloaded.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with AC outlets.
Yeah.
We're putting 15 different light strands into one outlet.
You're drawing a lot of current. You're heating things up.
So it's a joyous time, but to keep it that way, you got to be careful.
I agree.
And all of this stuff is online. Just Google fire safety, Christmas time, lights. Candles. My sister has these candles now. They're electric or battery powered, and it looks like a real flame.
Yeah.
I mean, you get right on top of it. You say, that's a real flame. It's not, but infinitely more safer.
Well, if I can, I do like to point people to NFPA.org. They have a lot of really good things, and they stay up on top of the events of the day. So if you got time, look for your fire safety at NFPA.org.
And candles, and as I just mentioned, you can buy artificial ones. Candles cause more problems than just about anything else year-round. I mean, how many fires do you go to where a candle tips over, catches a curtain on fire? Yep. I mean, I see a room where it's romantic in the movies. You see like 100 candles in the room. I'm looking at that going, that's a fire trap.
I'll tell you something about firefighting that is I think, just endlessly interesting. Our guys used to think, it's all about just dragging hoses and putting water on fire. And these guys come out with so much training now that they're almost scientists in a way. And the things that they study, we're going to be able to bring the tools and the talent with us on that pumper, on that ladder truck. Any fire department these days is like this. Memphis and Shelby County is full of good firefighters.
And my son-in-law is a firefighter for Colleyville.
Oh, there you go.
I'm amazed at the information he has to be a pumper driver, because you're not just pulling a truck up and letting the guys hook up hoses. You're actually computing the incline that you're parked on. How much pressure do you have to put on that fire hose to get it to the fire?
Even friction loss on the hose.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be a math whiz to be able to pull that off, and people don't realize that these are smart young guys and gals.
They really, really are. Very dedicated, and I like to tell people, if you even think you're having an emergency, if you're saying, "Can I handle this?" Your next move is 911.
Yes.
And we're on our way.
Same thing with the police. I'm always telling them, don't sit there and say, maybe we should call the police. If you're thinking, maybe I should call the police, you should be at 911.
That's right.
Right then.
We'd rather get there and find nothing than get there and find something we can't.
And that's their job.
Yeah.
And if you think something suspicious is going on, call them. That's their job, is to stop it before it starts.
And we also have excellent dispatchers who actually, people don't know this. When you call 911, you're actually being interviewed.
Mm-hmm. You are.
And they're going to be able to ask you the right questions. So just let them kind of handle a call.
Yeah, in fact, they will ask you the questions in the order they want them. Don't start telling it's your mother-in-law. That's not important.
No, they're going to get what's needed, and oftentimes the equipment is rolling before the phone call's even over.
Yeah. Brent, thank you so much for coming by. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys don't have to leave the station house, and everybody is safe and not burning up anything.
No.
And but this was some good points, and I think it was well illustrated.
Thanks for letting me get that word out to folks.
You bet. We'll do it again. Yep. We'll be doing this in our 90s. We'll be doing it from the home, but be. All right. Thank you, sir. That is our show for today from the world-famous Peabody and Lansky's in the Peabody. Get down here and check it out. The whole lobby is just gorgeous with the huge tree they have in here and decorations all over the place. Come down and enjoy that and take in downtown. It's a wonderful place, especially this time of year. We'll see you next time.